I'm just in the Picos de Europa for a few days, and I'm going to take you up a Route 24 today, which is, I'll show you on the map now. We start today's trek in Fuente Day. From there we get the cable car up to the top and near the summit of Pena Olvidada. This mountain is 8,000 feet, and like all the mountains in the region, it's predominantly made from limestone. We're in the snowline here. We soon work our way down to the Hotel Aliva, at which point we get below the snowline. The views start to become greener and more lush as we work our way past the bothies, and then into the valley with the mountain range in front of us, and Esplanada in the distance. Once we reach the forest, the trail becomes very different. We go more onto a traditional walking path, and then head through the woods, encountering a bull on the way. The section through the woods is a bit up and down, and it's probably the most challenging part of the day. As you walk down into the valley, you'll soon meet the river, and then follow it all the way back to Fuente Day. Let's take us up in this cable car. It is €11, and it's going to take us right to the top. There you go. We do. The cable car itself, it's quite small. What do you reckon? How many people?
It says 20 it holds.
20? I'll get 20 in here. In this, we've gone up about 800 metres, and it goes about 10 miles an hour. Just got my jacket on before I go outside. I've got a new hat as well, because the other one, when I was doing the Keres route yesterday, it blew off into the valley. So this is my new one, my Spanish hat. If you come up on this cable car, you do get to face this. So it's a little, oh man, it's freaking me out. Whoa! Freaking me out slightly. But there's the cable car coming up. You can just see also that we are at the edge of the cloud base. So we're really lucky because we just actually probably about, I don't know, a few metres below it. Look at that there. So we're literally like 30 metres below the cloud base. So we're going to go up a little bit and then start heading our way down. Once you've left the cable car, you come up a little bit, but not too far. And then you get to the actual landscape itself. We're obviously above the snow line a little bit. This is April now, so this is just the remnants of winter. The cable car comes up about 700 odd metres, and I think the temperature difference feels like it's dropped about 10 degrees at least. You can tell you're in the snow zone because it's got a little bitey wind to it. We are quite high up here. To start off with, I'll put the figures on the screen. There's a little bit of snow knocking about. I say a bit, a few feet of snow knocking around. Just try and make it around the edge. I'm just going to scamper around the edge of this. I don't think the Spanish people at this time of year are too fussed about going for a hike, because a few people got out at the entrance point where the cable car is, then they just kind of stood around, half of them in trainers, so I guess we'll not see many people on this route today. It's breezy today, but it's nothing like it was the other day. It was just crazy. This is April now when I'm doing this, but if you do it any earlier in the year, cable car might shut. So I came here 2 days ago, the cable car was shut. So this is my re-attempt. It's alright though, I'm just in the village nearby called Potes. I'll take you that round there a little bit later for a little walk, but it's quite a lovely historic village. On the photos before I booked it, I thought it looks a bit rural, but the PR man won't sack in because honestly, it's lovely. It is dead quiet because the Picos de Europa, it's an absolutely vast area in northern Spain. So if you get the chance to come and have a walk, I'd highly recommend it. I hadn't really realised it was going to be snowy, so I've got my shoes rather than my boots, but they're pretty good. We'll find out anyway. It's just ahead of me here, it's Pena Olvidada, and then we're going to head our way around. Oh look, blue sky. It's pretty moody on the top. It's got a really good day for this because we're not obviously in cloud, but we're just getting the slight moodiness and a bit of blue there. Everything going on in that shot. Got cloud, bit of sun, bit of sky. You see a lot of these trails around Spain. It's they often don't go to the peaks. You just go around the edge because they're very steep. It's like climbers territory. A few different ways. And Horcados Rojos is down there. And that's Route 23. We're on Route 24 and loads of these are marked. So I'm going to search on YouTube for these, there's loads of them. Route 24, that's where we're going. Back to Fuente. So from here it's pretty much all downhill to Fuente Day. Quite like the numbering system because it's really easy to see where you're going and follow the route. It's similar in Portugal as well. In England you just got to kind of have a map, know where you're going. Then we come across this. There you go. That's a good view. We're going to be heading all the way down there and winding our way through the hills. Does remind me a bit of the lakes, to be honest.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's like, you know, and the conditions aren't far off what we've been experiencing recently. It's worth just saying, I know this is like rocky at the top, but the valleys down are beautiful and they're really green. So part of the reason that we chose this rather than going to southern Spain is because it is really lush and it's lovely to look at. I mean, this is obviously rocky, but it's the top, but the valleys are very verdant. There's the view down. I've got to the walking surface is riddled with these boulders because the cliffs are so steep. So there's going to be quite a few rocks coming down over the course of time. We're about 30 feet away from them, so I don't want to land on our heads or anything. But yeah, you do need decent walking shoes or boots for this. These snowdrifts at the end are probably like 3 or 4 feet deep, but most of it's melted away. This kind of reminds me of the central or southern lakes in the way that the landscape is. I'll put links into those folders so you can have a look at them. If you're new to the channel, I mainly do walking in England, but just thought I'd come here for a change.
That didn't work very well, did it?
Well, it's at least 4 inches. Just show you the rocks so you can see what's going on here. So it's this very curious and loose rock that you've got. That's what it's made of at the base, and then much harder at the top there. That's why it's got such dramatic scenery. Oh look, someone's got a little house there. The walking surface does go between like a sticky clay and this very almost sort of flinty type of stuff. Hello. Look at that. Whoa, it's coming down to get us. We're just getting down below the snow line and all the meltwater is coming down the valley, so onto that stream there. This is that house we saw earlier on. Path is a little bit disappears a little bit sometimes because of the snow, but you know, pretty good. And we're dropping down below the snow anyway now. So still got a few little drifts, we have to walk around it. We come to this river now, and just there's the signpost. So I'd say that's at least 4 foot drift. This is all the runoff from the snow at the top. Oh, it's a bit wet. Yeah, looks a good idea. Let's do that. What are you going to do now? Oh, look a bit shaky. Oh, loose rock. Whoa. Have another go. What are you going to do? What are you doing? Come over here, come back. Turns out no, not a good idea. It's just going to be damage limitation, I'm afraid. Might start on this rock though, for start. Yes. No. Terrible rock. Okay. And then I'm going there. Don't have to do. There's no other way to do it. Yes. There you go. If you're doing it in the summer, there are a few of these fountains around, so you can always get those. So you don't have to carry like tons of water. You can just get a bottle. If you're doing a long walk and you're kind of new to it, a litre about 1 kilogram in weight. So you don't want to carry too much if you're doing these routes, but there are these little fountains all the way along the routes, and they're actually marked on the maps. So yeah, 1 bottle's usually fine. Actually, now I've got into this little valley, the wind has dropped massively. There's a couple of other buildings over there, and it looks like one of them's a church. On this walk I'm wearing my sort of light jacket and a merino wool base layer underneath, so not too layered today, but you can get caught out in these conditions, so just make sure you got a spur. Oh, oi!
Stay back.
She just got me on the back of the neck. We're playing the snow game. I do feel like I've cheated a little bit because essentially I've done no walking up, got the cable car to the top and then coming down. But that is the route as it's sort of recommended. And it's a good route. So it's not really expending any energy. It's pretty easy route. The ground is really good to walk on. So yeah, a good one for a quiet day. Just look at this mountain in front of me here, and it just reminds me a little bit of St Sunday Crag in the lakes. As I'm coming down here, there's weirdly a hotel in front of me. There it is, Hotel Aliva. I don't know if that means hotel alive or not, but you know, is it encouraging? I'm not sure. We've left that hotel now. We're just heading down. Keep checking behind me for zombies. It's just a bit of an obsession I've got. We're going to work our way down there and then wind our way into the valley. That's the view round. A little bit of cloud on this side, bright blue sky over there, and there's the zombie hotel. Clouds just touching the tops there. I'm walking down here, just look back a bit and you can see the hotels there. But look, there's a load of horses here in the field, probably about 10 of them. Yeah, been a few horses down here. I reckon that might be like a safety station. So look at it while we're here. Right, there you go. So that must be like a little bothy. Ooh. Oh. Toilet paper. Lovely. So that is an emergency shelter. Yep. Looks like there's a couple more shelters there as we come down here. Right, coming to the junction now, and for our route 24, we're just going to head down that way towards those snow-capped mountains. If you do fancy doing these routes around Spain, pretty much you can tell by looking behind me, they're essentially like roads, and you can tell, so it's not like the Lake District or anything where you go up a mountain to the peak and then you can follow the path. You essentially get these roads round, then if you want to shoot off and nip off a peak, then you can do so, but there aren't really paths like that. You can see where people have done it though, like there's a, look in front of me here, I can see there's a scramble up there where someone's gone up to the top. At this point we're about halfway around, and it's got a great valley shot going down. There we are. If you do enjoy the video, then just click on the like, and if you want to see more of these, then just subscribe and you'll see them as I do them. Well, that is the valley view going down, and that's where we've come from, just up there. Look at that, majestic. Once we've got down here, we're going to pop into the village of Potes and have a look around the shops and get a cerveza. So if you fancy coming, stick around to the end and I'll see you down there. Not seen any cattle just yet, but there's obviously a bit of farming activity going on here. Although I did see some goats in the Carrots video, so if you want to check that one out in northern Spain, have a look at it, I'll put it in the description. Just as we're coming down here, on this side, that's Pico de Europa, and it's 18-12 metres high. Some flowers there coming out. This walk's really in two stages. The first stage of it is the walk off the mountain, and then the second stage is through a wood. So we're going to enter the forest in a little bit. I've just seen it appear. That's the forest just appearing down there. We're going to enter that and finish it as a woodland walk. So there's a gate just here, and that's the, I'm going to say the marker for the second part of the walk. These are, this is like, if you're not from Spain, this is a Spanish type cattle grid, but rather than the ones in England that are fixed, they're like little rollers, and they roll around a little bit in those things, so just be careful. Stream's definitely joined us for this one. Whoa, look at that. At this point we're just going to cross over this bridge and then head over that way. There we go. Now this is completely different than the surface we've been working on. It does become much more like a trail here. So before we were basically on like a sort of service road, and this takes us down. You can see it winding its way down into the forest at the bottom. There's much more familiar walking territory for me. On this walk then you've got the cable car up, which is a bit of fun, and then you've got the route down, which is pretty easy going, but you do get in a snow line, depends on the time of year you go in. And then once you've done that, you get on this very different situation, which is a track heading all the way down into the forest. Then we can explore that. Just trekking across the hillside directly. The path's pretty, it's a little bit rocky earlier on, then it goes to this just fairly straight normal track. Pretty easy to go on, to be honest. Bit warmer down here, so taking my top off. What I have noticed, if you're around here, you'll hear cows with bells on. That's quite a familiar sound if you're walking in the countryside around these parts. If you come down here in the summer, this will all be in shade for you, so you get half the walk in the sun and half in the shade. Muddy, but it's alright, it's a straightforward path. Probably about 8 foot wide enough to get a car down anyway. I've actually only passed one couple on the way up, so it's really, really quiet. It is sort of mid-April, so it's not traditional hiking season in Spain. I'll say I would have come up and then gone down in the cable car, but because I was here a couple of days ago and the cable cars were shut, didn't want to risk them shutting midway through the day. Then having to walk all the way back the way I came. What do you do about this? Hello. It's a large ball.
Do you like apples?
Does he like apples? I don't know, you can try him. No? Now that is a large ball. Luckily, we just fended him off with an apple.
Go to a man's heart, give him food.
Give him an apple and leg it. I was not expecting that. So that's the kind of thing you're walking around. Little bird of prey at the side there, if you can see it, there's a couple of them. Oh. As you're heading around through the woods, you again just turn the corner and I've got a glimpse again of the mountains there. Lovely. I've got about 3k of the walk left now, so we're going to go a bit more walking in the woods and then down to the village of Potes, and that's the valley down there. If you enjoyed the video, then just click on the like, and if you want to see more of these, then just click on subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Right, but we're heading down and then heading to Potes, then we'll find a nice little bar. Look like it's flat on the map, but it's actually a little bit up and down. It undulates a bit. It's a little bit muddy, but you know, no more so than any other English forest this time of year. The route that we're on, we're following these colours all the way around. You'll see them really frequently. Road's going to go round and we're just taking this path here. It's a bit mucky. Now that is what you call clear.